Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday, June 26th, 2023. Let's talk about something real quick. How about this? In just the last 2 lovely weeks, we have watched the 10-year yield drop 14 basis points. An enormous, and I cannot stress this word enough, enormous amount of effort is going into keeping rates suppressed at this time. Meanwhile, the Fed, they're supposed to be raising rates. How does that work? Let's think for a moment. Fed is raising rates because they really want to fight inflation. Meanwhile, you got the 10-year yield dropping 14 basis points in just 2 weeks. This is what you would clearly call fakery in the market. Again, suppressed rates, and that's what we have here, are meant to keep that doorway open to allow cash to flow into the stock market. They will not let the stock market correct. They will not let it pull back, fall, nothing. Okay, whatever. I guess it makes a lot of people happy, but there's going to be a price to pay for this. When you have this amount of overwhelming fakery in the markets, I mean, nothing is real here. There's no price discovery mechanism behind a single asset class today. I don't care what you want to look at. And it's just, everything is just so rigged to the highest possible order. What would you expect? I mean, this is the corporate agenda. It's out of control. Small business being destroyed. We found out just this morning. I mean, it's an incredible thing. Manufacturing here in the United States, we've discussed, I don't know how many times for how many years, is it dead? Not only is it dead, but it is now falling to its lowest level in history. We don't make anything. We don't export anything. Henceforth, why the trade deficit continues to skyrocket. Imagine my shock. Imagine your shock. Anyway, so that's the story. It's the debt market again. I mean, it's so in our face, but you see, they believe you and I are stupid. We're not stupid. We're watching what's going on. Not just that. Not only did the 10-year yield drop, this morning it's 3.68. Just 2 weeks ago, we were 3.82. The relative strength of the dollar is lower today. Of course, this is good for stocks as well. The mechanism here is frankly incredible. Crude oil, gold, and silver all getting bid higher this morning. No surprise to me or you. We covered this just yesterday, I believe, during my Markets to Look Ahead, how this is a buying opportunity here. They're not going to allow crude oil especially to fall too much lower than it is right now. It's the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex, the lifeblood of the market, period. So you can expect this to turn around as well. Commodities, people, I'm going to tell you again, commodities. That's where you need to be moving forward, longer term, period, the end. You got Bitcoin still over 30,000. Cryptocurrency is doing okay here. That's where we stand this morning. Stock futures relatively flat. 10-year yield lower. Relative strength of the dollar lower. Crude, gold, silver getting a bit higher. And as I said, crypto is doing okay this morning. Now, with regard again to this manufacturing issue, this has nowhere to go but worse. Even though right now we are at a historic low. I'm laughing, but I shouldn't be. It's pathetic. But you're going to be told by illustrious people that have to dictate your life to you how great we're doing. Our economy is so strong. Oh, we're adding jobs too. Oh, here's a great one here. Listen to this one. I had to write this down. Here's a headline. Hold on a minute. This is Market Watch. Inflation is falling. Inflation is not falling. The pace of inflation rising is supposedly slowing, but inflation continues to rise. This is what they do. You see, this is how they brainwash people into believing something that's a complete falsehood. You and I understand that it's the central banks that control the narrative. They're the ones that feed CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, Market Watch, whatever script they're supposed to follow. Now, it looks like the script is that inflation is falling. By their own numbers, inflation continues to rise. Now, let me tell you something else. We covered this yesterday. It's going much higher. It's going much, much higher from here. But they have to try to convince as many people as they possibly can that what they're seeing with their own eyes and they're feeling in their own pocketbooks is not real. Again, they're the authority figures. They get to dictate your life to you. You know how it works. Anyway, what else is going on? I think that's an incredible thing. Here's another piece of information that, you know, I don't know what to make of this, but I'm sure this is true. So corporate debt defaults are on the rise. Okay, corporate debt defaults. We know that the corporate agenda is being fulfilled, but something else is going on too. The corporate agenda is not just about keeping corporations in aggregate getting stronger. It's about consolidating power. Now, this whole issue with central banks raising rates, again, has nothing to do at all, zero, with trying to control inflation. You and I have known this. We've discussed this since day one. What this is all about is limiting the availability of credit to smaller institutions and, of course, to the consumer, who is under constant, unrelenting pressure that's only going to get worse. Now, these corporate defaults that they're referring to here, these are smaller corporations, just like the regional banks, who are eventually going to be absorbed into the collective, into smaller and smaller groups of corporations here. So the too bigs to fails are going to get even bigger. So that's what we're seeing here. It's a dismantling of the current system piece by piece and kind of rearranging the deck chairs a little bit to strengthen the mega or the big cap corporations. This is why I like to invest in large caps. Large caps carry the weight of the market, and that's just the way it is, as unfortunate as it may seem. So the agenda here is what it's always been: a wipeout of the small businesses, a wipeout of smaller corporations, only to have them be absorbed by the larger institutions here. You understand? I think you got that down. The pressure on the middle class is going to continue to get worse. The cost of living is going to continue to rise. Although they're going to tell you things like Yellowstain. Well, last week when Powell, Yellowstain, it thing, vomitous mass, putrid, subhuman, non-human entity, was telling us all and telling Congress that he, the Federal Reserve, you know, the ruler of the world, expects that inflation is going to drop significantly, his words, moving forward. Meanwhile, we know this is a lie, because every single, I mean, think about it, every single projection that has been put out by one of these creatures that dwell in the halls of the Federal Reserve has been wrong. Do you think that's any coincidence that they've all been wrong? Not one has been correct. Meanwhile, you and I have nailed this to the wall. Are we smarter than them, or do we just know their agenda? No, we know their agenda. Their agenda is to continue to inflate. They're not going to stop. The pressure on the middle class is going to get worse. The corporate agenda is going to be fulfilled. A consolidation of power is underway here, and they're going to find other reasons to continue to pull cash into the now. You can't even imagine what's coming up here. None of us can, but that's what they're going to do. But again, this mechanism of pulling cash into the now from the future, robbing future generations of whatever future they may have had, is massively inflationary. So that's really the story this morning. But the biggest thing to me right now, and it's just really in our face, is the suppression of rates. Let's think about this. Again, we're watching the 10-year yield, which is the benchmark, drop significantly. We're watching the entire yield curve move up and down like a yo-yo, but down, 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 down. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve is in here raising rates. How does that work? Does someone out here want to tell me that? It's obviously nothing is what it seems to be, as I've dictated millions of times, literally millions, in the years that I've been out here with all of you. Commodities, people, are the place to be. You know that. Let's keep your eyes on these things. Watch risk in this market. I did not get a chance to check out the MMRI this morning before this video, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. I'd be willing to bet that it has dropped substantially, being that the relative strength of the dollar is lower, 10-year yield has dropped. I'm going to go look at that the moment I finish this video. If you want to look at the MMRI, link in the description of this video. It is free to everybody. All right, look, that's it for today. What do you think about this, just real quick before I let you go? Manufacturing now, U.S. manufacturing falling to its lowest level ever in history. You think that's going to stop anytime soon? No. How about you and I foretold this as well? You see, the mainstream has been telling us, oh, manufacturing is doing pretty good. We're doing great. Meanwhile, you and I knew the polar opposite was happening. And here's proof positive. And you and I predicted that this exact thing would happen. It's amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. The consolidation of the system, it's all happening. Everything that we have discussed is happening. It's an incredible thing. All right. Love you a lot. Please, please, please share the video. Get it out there. Those thumbs up are valuable. I will see all of you later. 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is that what it is? No, daylight time. I always mess that up. I'll see you later, right? I'm out of here.